So there is a lot of talk going about right now based on the 2015 comic book event Secret Wars. Some people online have been talking about it, maybe misunderstanding the purpose of this book or what it's actually about in terms of the spectacle or the grand narrative. I know what the author is trying to say, and I think that's something that can get lost on some people. I'm not trying to be arrogant about it. I just think what is trying to be said about Secret Wars here is that no matter what happens on like a metatextual level, comic books are rebirth. Comic books just are eternally changing. And this is like the Marvel Universe changing on a grand scale. It is the biggest and most epic time the universe has changed. It is just restarting. Everything lives, everything dies, it always comes back. That's essentially what is being said in Secret Wars. It is a story of the Marvel Universe through its rebirth when it is coming back to its form that it will take in the current continuity. And aside from that, it is a story about savior complexes, which is something the MCU hasn't really tackled, but the Marvel Comics universe is full of these characters, heroes and villains, who all think they know what they're doing to save the world. And in this story, you see that from a bunch of different angles, not just in terms of Victor and Reed, but in people like T'Challa, in Mr. Sinister, in Namor, in Thanos, all of these characters who are prominent for their ideology, having these clashing ideas of what it means to be the hero. Even somebody like Doctor Strange, who's very prevalent now based on his movie, has his own ideas in here of what it means to have this power to change the world. All of these men, particularly these men, have these ideas to change the world, to save it, to essentially bring it to its fullest form. And that's what the other part of the story is. It's one part, here's the rebirth of comic books. On a metatextual level, we are doing something new again. We are starting over because we are eternal characters going through this stuff. On another level, it's look at these ego-driven men from the Marvel Universe battling it out in this kind of just like Game of Thrones-esque playing field, showing you how they are telling this story. It's not this big divisive multiversal spanning event. It's not. It's just here's a man who reshaped the world and now he is being put to the test to prove if he is a god-like person, and he proves them right. It is a beautiful story with beautiful art, and I think sometimes people just look at the big narrative of all the colorful characters and spectacle, but don't realize that what's behind that is one man who's trying to prove to himself and the world that he is the savior that humanity could never have. And maybe he did that, but in the end he learns the lesson. Everything lives. Not everything has to die. Maybe it's about the rebirth. Maybe it's about starting over again. Or maybe that's just how I interpreted Secret Wars. You could have an entirely different meaning, and that's okay too. It's a great comic, and you should check it out.